Hello folks, and welcome to this week's Music Alerts video, in which I tell you what physical products I have received through the post this week. I've got some vinyl for you, but let's start with CD. And one for the petrol heads in the audience via the label Atomicat and the 30-track compilation 121 Years of the Ford Car. Now, this is not the roundest of numbers I've ever heard, 121. Even so, I've got to say, nevertheless, there's a host of hillbilly, rock and roll, doo-wop and surf outings here that all have the word Ford in their title, or the band name, or the lyrics. They are celebrations to a hunk of metal, in fact, and include works from the Edsels, the Thunderbirds, Chuck Berry, Gene Vincent, and even the Sunset Dragster Orchestra. Next is Koko Mojo and a new musical series, so you can get in on the ground floor. These are parts 1 and parts 2 of High Strung R&B. Now, these are 28-track digipack compilations, and as you can infer from the title, they offer high-tempo, energy-infused songs. Music you can dance to, I suppose. What you're given here is an emphasis on the more obscure, lesser-known cuts from people like the Jewels, the Chimes, the Spiders, and Herbie Cox. Next, we have a new double album release on Blue Note from the 86-year-old Charles Lloyd, called The Sky Will Still Be Here Tomorrow, accompanied by pianist-composer Jason Moran, bassist Larry Grenadier, and drummer Brian Blade. Is it any good? Well, put it this way, age has nothing to do with this record, except for its part and experience and knowledge and guile. But in terms of performance, this is top-line stuff. Moving slightly to the right of the jazz genre, we have jazz rock now from Colosseum on the Repertoire label, and the 2-CD package Upon Tomorrow. This investigates the last phase of the working band as was after the release of their third album, Daughter of Tomorrow. It includes tracks that may have been used possibly for a possible fourth album. All the jigsaw pieces were here, you might say. Also, there are live concert recordings and recordings that were planned to be used for a cinema presentation, a film, a movie, and they were going to play in that. Fascinating stuff. Next, from the Kent label, look out for Candi Staton's 10-track Southern Soul self-titled album on the Fame label. Her third album on that label, it was released in 1972. Also, check out the well-regarded version of In the Ghetto, a track that was so good, even Elvis Presley sent her a fan letter about her performance of that particular song. Via Ace now is Autonomy, the productions of Martin Rushent. This is a 19-track compilation. Basically, you've got tracks that the great man worked on in a producer role, and they include songs by the Stranglers, the Buzzcocks, the Rosillos, XTC, Altered Images, the Members, the Associates, and many more. The booklet is a particular highlight of this CD pack. It includes valuable quotes from the bands themselves about Rushent. Vinyl now, and first up on the 4AD label we have Adrienne. I'm going for Adrienne Lenker and Bright Future, which is as stripped a singer-songwriter LP as you're ever likely to hear. Sometimes a voice and guitar is what you'll hear. Sometimes there's extra instruments surrounding the lady herself. But this LP sounds like a live recording in its approach. It's folk, it's country-ish, it's bluegrass kinda. I've heard her work described as pop rock. But no. This is roots with a unique delivery, and it's effective. At times, now and again, I hear Neil Young in there somewhere. This is a rather special album. Next up, we have classic trip-hop breakbeat via Ninja Tune. with a host of well-known genre guests such as Alice Russell and Roots Maneuver, and we have Mr. Scruff's Ninja Tuner. This one hits vinyl for the very first time. It originally appeared in 2008, and now it appears on a 3 LP expanded version. There's so many jazzy beats on this one, they spill on the floor when you rip the shrink wrap open. The records within this pack have been processed by another PVC alternative, and there's a few knocking about. This one is called Bio-Vinyl, and we will see Bio-Vinyl later again in this video. It's made from recycled cooking oil, and that triggered so many jokes in my head, I decided not to bother in the end. So I'll leave those to you instead. Over to you. Next up, we have 3 jazz greats on the Craft label now. The first is the underrated bop-flavoured California-based saxman Harold Land, a man who would actually influence John Coltrane. This one is called The Fox. So this is a reissue of a reissue via Contemporary. Contemporary released this one in '69. The original recording was 1960. This one has been remastered via the very nice, the very great Bernie Grundman. Also remastered by our Bernie and via the Contemporary label all over again is Shelly Manne and his Men at the Black Hawk Volume 1. There were, how many? There were 4 volumes in total. So you're looking at hard bop here from 1959. And finally, on the New Jazz, well, originally it was the New Jazz label from 1962, we have Eric Dolphy, we have Mal Waldron, being led by the bassist genius of Ron Carter. His debut in that role, and the album is called Where, although the great man is heard on the cello for half of the tracks here. Next, we have Ayanna Witter Johnson, who connects her wholly attractive, soulful voice and plucked plus bowed cello. She connects all of that with the LSO percussion ensemble. The two get together for this album, and the album is called Ocean Floor, another one created with Bio-Vinyl, and this is a limited edition of vinyl release. And it sounds captivating, I've got to say, and you hear all kinds of percussive instruments, congas, vibraphone, tubular bells, no Mike Oldfield on this one, woodblock, bass drum, caxixi, they're like a shaker kind of thing. Can never pronounce them. Marimba, and I do love the bass noises from a marimba. Anyway, drums, bongos, and a whole lot more. It sounds very rich, it sounds very melodic. On to Brainfeeder now, and the 10-year anniversary edition of Apocalypse via Thundercat on translucent red vinyl, and with 2 bonus extra tracks added. And you get a kind of etched plastic sleeve covering the actual card outer sleeve, and that gives extra effects, you might say, to the sleeve art. Music itself, it kind of, I'd describe it as alt R&B, you might say. This was his second release, more focused than the debut, I would say, a bit more experimental, interesting time signatures, for example. Deeply impressive stuff. And finally, we have from JJ Grey and Mofro, Alusti. Is it Alusti? I think it's Alusti, on the Alligator label, presented within a gatefold sleeve. This is soul rock, you might say, and you're getting big, bold, forthright vocals, but blended too with more fragile, introspective ballads, sometimes accompanied by an acoustic guitar only. So we're looking at varied textures here. There's nothing particularly innovative about this one, nothing particularly different, no boundaries are pushed. This is just an old-fashioned, solid rock album with a soulful vibe. And for many people out there, that's more than enough. And in terms of this video, that's more than enough as well. Thank you for staying to the end of this one. And down below, if I could ask you to click on the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't done so already, that would be Wonderful, just helps the video to sail through the algorithm that Mr. YouTube presents to us. And in addition to that, down below I'll put some links and necessary information if required. Also down below you'll find links to my website, and there's lots of info, lots of music info over there you will see here. My Facebook group, you're welcome to join that. Also my Patreon page, lots more music info over there as well. Also an exclusive video, hi-fi news, etc. And like I say, only see that over there. Check it out, there's all kinds of stuff, buyer's guides and whatnot. Anyway, I will be here next week, same day, same place, with another one of these. I hope to have your company. Until then, bye bye for now.